Welcome back to the show. Like I said, we got Ron Guidry, Mr. Ron Guidry, Louisiana Lighting, sitting right here. He's gonna be cooking some beautiful stuffed quail on the Cajun grill. But before we get into the kitchen or on the pit, I wanna ask Ron a few questions. Ron, we were talking about the fastball and your two best pitches, or your two pitches when you were playing in the pros was what?
Okay. This is a fastball.
Fastball.
And that's a slider.
And what were you throwing? What speed were you throwing in your prime?
Fastballs were
Don't be modest.
anywhere from 95 to 97.
I heard you hit 98.
I might have. I didn't worry about that. It wasn't how hard you threw, it's where you put it.
Right.
And then sliders, I threw sliders anywhere from 88 to 90 miles an hour.
Now, when you made it to the pros, did you have that slider, or was that?
No, one of my teammates taught it to me while I was a lot of inactivity.
Yeah.
My teammate Sparky Lau.
Sparky Lau. Yeah.
Sitting in the bullpen, a lot of times if you're not pitching, and he showed that pitch to me. And then once I got a chance to get into games, you know, that's probably what sent me on my way.
Now that pitch, I saw some of the highlights on YouTube. Was the pitch that you struck out in the Angels game, 17 batters?
Well, I don't know how many they had.
Come on.
It's 18.
18.
Yeah, 18.
I was testing you.
Yeah, it's 18. But it's that was the pitch that complemented fastball. I always could throw hard. I just didn't have something else to complement it.
Right.
And up in the big leagues, you can't just throw fastballs. You got to have something else. So once I developed that, it set me apart.
Right. Now, your wife, who I adore, you know you're a lucky man.
I know.
Miss Bonnie, sweet as can be. She brought me a copy of this book. Now, this book was written by an author that wrote an article in the New York Times or something like that a few years back about you and Yogi's relationship, and people wanted more. I mean, he gave me a little bit of taste, so he came up with this book, and she gave me this copy and this autograph by you and Yogi. There's a lot of neat information in this book. I read it cover to cover. I couldn't put it down.
It is. He's for so many years, him and I had him all to myself.
Yeah.
You know, everybody knew I took care of him, but they didn't know how much it encompassed and everything.
Picking him up at the airport.
And it was always fun for me because he was such a good friend. And when he comes down to spring training, you know, who's going to take care of him? He's 80, you know, he was 80 years old.
Right.
But I mean, it started when he was 70 years old, 75 years old, and it's been going on for 12, 13, 14 years. Anyway, you know, we were such good friends that everything just started. It's the passing of the torch, so to speak, from the older generation to mine. Hopefully somebody picks it up after I'm gone.
Right.
You know, that's the kind of camaraderie that the New York Yankees share. We all take pride in the tradition that we have, and we're always looking out for everybody.
Well, that's what I got from this book. It's
just like, you know, when I go to spring training now, I always take care of the kids. You know, even if they're 40 years old, they're still kids to me.
Right.
So I still refer to it as taking care of the kids.
But there's a lot of stories in the book. We're going to touch about that when we're barbecuing over there. And I just want to thank you for coming. I think y'all going to enjoy this recipe, guys. So stick around. Don't go nowhere.